This Ultra timeline, Vaggie was modified. You see, she was an exorcist and part of an experiment, where Adam and Loot used experimental magic on her, giving her somewhat of a healing factor, not as strong as Wolverine's in the comics, at least not yet, and she had little sharp claws that would come out, like daggers. As she would be given a code name, Wolverine, as Vaggie would fight alongside them. One day she saw a kid, and like in canon, she would spare it. As suddenly Loot would stab her. As Vaggie fell down, she started to regenerate, but then Loot would say, I know exactly where to cut you so you won't regenerate. As she was about to cut her, suddenly Charlie would show up early, as she would jump in front of the way, causing Loot to hit her instead. As Loot was shocked, not wanting to start a war, she ran off with Adam. As Vaggie started to cry, scared and sad that this happened, she would take Charlie to Lucifer. As she would knock on the door, Lucifer would open it, and Vaggie would say, please, it was an accident, and I didn't. Suddenly, Lucifer would look angry at her, but then he would read her mind and say, you're innocent, come on in. As Lucifer would see that Charlie was hurt with an angelic weapon. That can only mean, well, one thing. That the wounds could not be healed unless she had a very strong healing factor. As it was all in vital organs, Lucifer would have to work fast, as he summoned up the most powerful spells he had, healing Charlie instantly. However, these wounds will always damage her, so basically how it works will be that the angelic wounds would grow and her body would heal it, making her in a constant state of pain. As Charlie would wake up, as she felt like death, she felt the pain all around her. As Lucifer would say, you're awake, here's your savior. Vaggie would say, I'm sorry you. Charlie would say, it's alright, I'm just glad you're okay now. As Charlie would sit down, she would say, so what's your story? As Vaggie would decide to tell her the truth in this timeline and say there's not much else to do. Charlie would say, so you were like made into a weapon? You can be a real life superhero. As Vaggie would say, thanks, I guess. As Vaggie and Charlie would start to go out, they would try to find a costume to be a superhero. Vaggie honestly didn't believe in this, and neither did Charlie at first. This was more about having fun and fighting bad guys, because Charlie felt constant pain and she needed something to get her mind off it. And Vaggie, all she knew how to do was fight, so I guess this is the best thing they could do. As they looked for costumes, eventually they would find a Wolverine and Deadpool costume. As Charlie would put it on, she would say, the outfit says Deadpool. Apparently it was the guy who made it. Vaggie would say, that's your name, as Charlie would nod. As Charlie and Vaggie would then go out to fight crime. As Charlie and Vaggie would find some thugs picking on the innocent. Charlie and Vaggie would only go after those who were evil, picked on the innocent and stuff like that. Hell was full of crime lords and stuff like that, and it got to the point where they didn't really have a police force, so they decided to only go after the ones that were bad. After all, if everyone's a criminal, going after all criminals is counterintuitive. As Charlie has been training, she couldn't really use her magic like she used to because, well, a lot of her body's magic is focused on healing her 24/7. As she jumped down with a sword that Vaggie taught her how to use, she would begin to fight some of the punks. At first, they would start to beat on her until she started to learn how to fight with it, as she started to strike them down. As her leader, Giant Hellhound, started to chase after him, Vaggie would jump on his back and begin to tear it off. As Vaggie tore off his back, he would begin to scream in agony and pain as he fell to the floor. As the other thugs ran away, Charlie would say, Wolverine? As Vaggie would continue to tear it off and start to laugh, she would say, that's a bit too far. Oh, maybe you're right. Sorry, I had to get some anger out. As they would both walk out and go to a bar and start to drink and have fun. As Charlie and Vaggie started to get to know each other better, they started to enjoy each other's company, and they would go on a few more missions together. As Vaggie and Charlie continued on fighting, Wolverine and Deadpool were seen as these strange people that fought others, and no one really knew who they were. Vaggie made sure never to extend her claws out in public, unless she was in costume. And Charlie made sure never to bring her weapons unless she was in costume. And since they both had healing factors, they weren't too scared about being jumped out of costume. After all, no one knows who they were anyway. As one night, they were celebrating a victory as they were both drinking and having fun. Charlie would then kiss Vaggie and say, I've always wondered, how well do you really fight? Vaggie would say, what do you mean by that? I mean, if you had to fight for top or bottom, which one would you manage to get? As she smiled, let's see who wins. As in Vaggie and Charlie would then kiss again. Then they would go to their rooms and have some fun. As the next day came, they both looked at each other in bed. As Charlie would say, what are we? Vaggie would say, we're friends having fun. Charlie would say, is that all we are? She would sigh and get up. Vaggie would say, no, I like you, okay? I was just too nervous to admit it. You're just so cool. You have those swords, you fight, and just, you're funny, you're sweet, and even though it's my fault you got injured, it's my fault you were disfigured, you're not mad at me. I don't understand. As suddenly Charlie would say, I'm not mad at you because deep down you're a good person, Vaggie. We can do it. We can clean up hell together. Just you and me. Deadpool and Wolverine. As Charlie and Vaggie would start to sing, they would hold each other's hands. They felt invincible together. As then we cut to Vox, Val, and Velvet. They would all discuss how to get rid of Wolverine and Deadpool. They were becoming quite a nuisance on their operations. They didn't pick on all the overlords though, so not all want them gone, only the ones that are truly despicable, like those two. As Val was coming up with a trap, Vox and Val had an idea. They would put someone in distress, a classic hero lore, and to make sure that they see it, they'll make sure it's very obvious and plain as day, and in the spot that they normally go to. And they'll make sure the thugs don't look that tough to lure them in. Then Vox and Val would come out and destroy them. It was the perfect plan once and for all. As they would put it into motion, we cut to Charlie and Vaggie. As Deadpool and Wolverine watched, they saw an innocent imp in danger. As Charlie was about to jump in, Vaggie would say, wait, there's something fishy about this. As Vaggie would suddenly jump down and tell Charlie to stay up there. As she did, she got her weapons ready. As Vaggie would go and save the day, suddenly Vox would shoot electricity as Val would wrap a golden chain around her neck. It was hard for her to move. Charlie would pull out her swords and slowly get closer as she snuck behind them. Vox would say, where's your little partner? Wait, she must be, as suddenly he would feel a sword pierce his back. As he looked, it was Charlie. Vox would then be able to kick her off and shoot electricity as he fell to the floor. This would have caused Charlie to go against the wall. As she continued to get shocked, she would fall down. They didn't know about her healing factor, so they thought she was gone. As Vaggie would pretend to care, pretend that she thought she was gone, but she knew she was okay. And Vaggie would cry, as Vaggie would pretend that she was gone, pretend that she was no more. So Val would drop his guard, as Val would say, you got rid of my Voxie, huh? I'll miss him. Oh well, you'll just have to take his place. You'll make a valuable plaything. As Val would grab Vaggie, Vaggie would then extend her claws and stab into him. As he fell down, he would then get angry as he pulled out his blasters. On second thought, I'll just get rid of you. As then, Charlie would stab Val as he fell to the floor no more. As Vaggie and Charlie would hug, when suddenly Velvet would walk up to them. Then they both got ready to fight, as Velvet would laugh and say, now, put those weapons away. Charlie would say, what do you mean? We just got rid of your two employers. No, they were my business partners, and with them gone, I now rule all of the V's interests. I can compete with that Camilla Carmine now. I'm sure I can figure it out. I know how to work people and work technology. Besides, Vox, all he did was sell weapons. Nothing too glamorous. Besides, with those two gone, I can make things way better. Let's celebrate and get a drink. Vaggie would say, isn't she the enemy? Charlie would say, I am thirsty. Alright, as they would go out and get some drinks and have some fun. As the next day came, they went back to doing their daily business. As Charlie and Vaggie, Deadpool and Wolverine went throughout hell, fighting crime. As they were famous and known as the heroes of hell. And that's where I leave things off. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share with all your friends, please. It would really mean a lot to me. It would really help out the channel if you would do that. And I hope you enjoyed this video, because I enjoyed making it. Charlie and Vaggie are such great characters. And having to be Marvel and DC characters are really fun and really interesting. I think it adds depth to their lore, you know. It makes it fun because I still have them as their original character, but I also add in a little bit of the character before, trying to combine them. It makes it for a fun challenge, and it makes it for a fun video to watch, and I think you all can really enjoy it. And who would you like to see as who next? Would you like to see Alistair as, I can't think of anyone. Yeah, I'm getting tired. But yeah, how's your all's day? My day was interesting, to say the least. Sorry about all the background noise. I usually try to limit the background noise as much as possible, but when it's at the end of the video and I'm just talking to you guys, I don't really care, because the main focus of the video is already over, you know what I mean? But yeah, anyway, my day was frustrating because I was recording a bunch of stuff for my gaming channel, and all the footage got corrupted because of Discord or something. It was like recorded friends with Discord, so I just deleted Discord off my computer, and hopefully I won't do that again. So I don't know why the heck it did that. But yeah, other than that, my day was pretty good. Hope you all enjoyed it. Shout out to my gaming channel. Yeah, let me know how your days are going. And maybe I used to shout out channels, but I stopped doing that. But maybe I should do that more. Maybe at the end of every video, I'll shout out a channel. Like, I don't know. Give me something to think about. Anyway, I hope you are doing well, because I'm doing well. And if you're not doing well, I'm sorry to hear that. Hope this video makes you happier. I love you all so much. Thank you for coming here. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for watching my content. It really means the world to me. And for the longest time, I've always wanted to be a YouTuber. Ever since I was a kid, I just never thought I could do it because, well, I don't know. I just put like this weird high standard. I always thought editing and things like this were hard. That's why I started a What If channel, because doing these pictures, I mean, it does require editing and requires hours to make each video, but it's not nearly as much effort as like a gaming or animation or something like that. So that's why I kind of do it. But to tell you the truth, I kind of like doing this, you know what I mean? It's fun, it's interesting, and it gets people together. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed this video. Peace out.